The halls of the Galactic Council stretched farther than any human eye could imagine. Crystal towers spiraled into the void, connected by glowing walkways where delegates from thousands of species moved in silent, purposeful grace. It was a place of immense power, where decisions could shape entire galaxies. Today, one decision stood out more than any other: the fate of Earth. Humans had waited for this moment. Their representatives, Captain Arya Daniels and Ambassador Rajiv Khatri, stood on the observation deck of the human council ship, staring out at the massive structure. The council building shimmered with alien technology, alien colors, and alien thoughts. Every species had come to watch, to debate, to influence. Yet humans felt small, not in size but in the scale of history. "Do you think they will vote for us?" Rajiv asked quietly, his voice barely carrying over the hum of the ship. Arya shook her head. "I don't know. Some of them respect us. Some think we're too unpredictable, too dangerous." She paused. "But if we've learned anything, it's that humans always fight when cornered." They both knew cornered humans were dangerous in ways the Council could not imagine. Earth had survived plagues, wars, natural disasters, and countless human conflicts, and somehow, humanity had always grown stronger. Today, that resilience would be put to the test. Inside the council chamber, delegates chattered in thousands of alien languages. Some were tall, spindly beings with translucent skin. Others were short, armored creatures with eyes like burning coals. A few had no eyes at all, their senses tuned to vibrations or energy fields. They had come from hundreds of star systems, each with its own culture, politics, and ambitions. And all of them would vote on the same question: should Earth join the Galactic Council? At the center of the chamber floated the vote orb, a spherical device that would record each species' choice. It pulsed with light as delegates moved closer, projecting their intentions in glowing streaks of color. Green meant yes, red meant no, yellow meant abstain, and humans standing alone in their corner knew the odds were against them. "The Council fears our unpredictability," Arya said under her breath. "They think we're violent, uncivilized, unprepared?" Rajiv nodded. "And yet they've never met us in space. They don't know what we can do when we unite." Across the chamber, Ambassador Vethkor of the Selnari spoke first. A towering, multi-limbed creature, it leaned forward and gestured with precision. "Humanity is too dangerous. They have destroyed their own world many times over. How can we trust them with interstellar power? How can we allow them into the Council?" A ripple of agreement spread through many of the older, more cautious species. Next, Ambassador Thali of the Sci-Fi system rose. "I disagree," she said. Her voice was melodic, almost musical. "Humanity is resourceful, adaptive, and capable of incredible innovation. Their flaws are matched by their strengths. They could become a valuable ally if we guide them." A few delegates murmured in surprise. Not all agreed, but Thali's words carried weight. Humans had allies, but not enough. Not yet. The voting began. One by one, species projected their choice into the vote orb. Glimmers of green, red, and yellow streaked through the chamber, swirling and colliding in patterns no human had ever seen. Captain Arya and Ambassador Rajiv held their breath. Every red streak, every hesitation from a neutral species felt like a knife to the chest. Hours passed, or perhaps minutes, for time flowed strangely in the council chambers. When the last vote was cast, the vote orb shone brightly and then settled into a deep crimson red. The council had voted against Earth. The chamber erupted in alien chatter. Some delegates celebrated, some argued, and some simply glared at the humans. Earth had been judged, and the verdict was harsh. Arya and Rajiv did not flinch. They had expected this. They had prepared for this. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and this vote, though disheartening, was just another challenge. "We knew this wouldn't be easy," Rajiv said. His jaw tightened. "They think we're weak. They think we can't defend ourselves. They don't know what humans are capable of." Arya's eyes burned with determination. "Let them underestimate us. That is exactly what they did, and that is exactly what we will use against them." Back on Earth, news of the vote spread rapidly. Humans around the globe watched the broadcasts from the council chamber, listening to alien pundits explain why humanity was unworthy of joining the interstellar community. Some panicked. Some argued. Some doubted the future. But a much larger number, millions, perhaps billions, felt a spark. "We've always been underestimated," said Dr. Elena Vargas, lead scientist at the International Space Defense Initiative. "Every obstacle, every war, every disaster. We survived, and we adapted. Now it's time to prove that the Council was wrong." Across Earth, laboratories, shipyards, and training facilities buzzed with activity. Engineers worked tirelessly on advanced spacecraft. Strategists mapped out new defenses. Pilots trained for space combat. Humanity was no longer just a planet. It was becoming a force capable of standing toe-to-toe with the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. Meanwhile, a few sympathetic alien species began to take notice. Quietly, some sent messages of support and covert aid to Earth, impressed by human courage in the face of rejection. Small shipments of alien technology arrived on Earth unannounced, with notes that read simply, "You are stronger than they know." Humans, for the first time, realized something extraordinary. They were not alone. Even among those who distrusted or feared them, there were those who recognized the human spirit. Captain Arya addressed the Human Council representatives aboard the Earth command ship. "This vote was supposed to crush us," she said. "But instead it lit a fire. They think they can control us by denying us a place in the galaxy. They think they can stop us. They're wrong. Very, very wrong." Ambassador Rajiv grinned. "It's time to get to work." As night fell across Earth, lights from cities glimmered like stars reflected on the planet's surface. Humanity had faced rejection from the greatest assembly in the galaxy, and yet, instead of despair, there was resolve, courage, and determination. The Council may have voted against Earth, but that vote had done exactly the opposite of what they intended. It had united a species known for resilience, innovation, and daring. Humans were no longer just observers in the galactic story. They were about to become main characters, capable of turning the tide against any force that dared underestimate them. The vote against Earth had not crushed humanity. It had ignited a fire. Across the planet, governments, scientists, engineers, and civilians worked together like never before. The rejection by the Galactic Council became a challenge, and humans loved challenges. In sprawling cities and hidden bunkers, new technologies were being tested. Spaceships, faster and stronger than ever, began to take shape. Weapon systems evolved, not to destroy indiscriminately, but to protect Earth from alien interference. AI programs coordinated every effort, analyzing alien tactics, predicting attacks, and suggesting new strategies. The world had changed. Humans had always adapted, but now adaptation was accelerated. The Council had underestimated Earth's ingenuity, and that miscalculation would soon become their first mistake. Captain Arya Daniels oversaw the project from the Earth Command Station, a massive orbital hub bristling with satellites, weapons arrays, and monitoring stations. Around her, humans moved with purpose, working through night cycles and rotations. There was no panic, no despair, only determination. "Status report," Arya demanded. "Shipyards are ahead of schedule," Lieutenant Chen replied. "Orbital interceptors are operational. AI coordination is complete. Civilian volunteers are trained for evacuation protocols in case of attack." Arya nodded. "Good. Keep testing the shields and energy arrays. The Council thinks we are defenseless. Let's make sure they're wrong." Earth's secret preparations did not go unnoticed for long. Small alien scout ships, sent to monitor human activity, began to detect unusual energy patterns. They reported back to the Galactic Council, claiming Earth was advancing too quickly, too quietly, and too efficiently. The Council convened a meeting. "Earth is preparing for conflict," said one delegate, its multiple eyes narrowing. "We cannot ignore them." Another alien voice, cold and precise, disagreed. "Let them grow. They are still a minor species. Even with technology, they are not ready for full-scale war. We can contain them later." But doubt had already begun to seep in. Some species whispered privately, "Humans are unpredictable, dangerous. Their ingenuity cannot be measured like ours." That was humanity's advantage. Humans did not rely on predictability. They relied on creativity, courage, and quick thinking. On Earth, the scientists had discovered something remarkable. By analyzing alien technology from intercepted transmissions, humans began to reverse engineer advanced systems. Within weeks, Earth's engineers produced prototypes for stealth ships, energy shields, and long-range communication networks that could evade alien detection. The ingenuity astounded even the humans themselves. "It's like they gave us a blueprint and we made it better," said Dr. Elena Vargas, overseeing the AI research labs. "It's not just better," Arya said, watching as a squadron of stealth ships tested orbital maneuvers. "It's human. It's clever, it's fast, and it's unpredictable. That's what makes it deadly." Humans also trained their fleet in unconventional tactics. Unlike the alien forces, which relied on brute strength and overwhelming numbers, humans studied asymmetric warfare. They learned to strike from unexpected angles, to use decoys, and to outthink rather than outgun the enemy. Pilots practiced evasive maneuvers around simulated alien defenses, learning to exploit weaknesses that aliens assumed were impossible to exploit. Soldiers trained in zero-gravity combat, adapting Earth weapons for use in space. Civilians volunteered as engineers, communicators, and medics, turning the entire planet into a defense network. Meanwhile, whispers of human activity reached the outer colonies of the Council. Many alien colonies had been oppressed or controlled by the Galactic Council for centuries. Some of these colonies began to admire the human resolve, inspired by reports of Earth's rapid advancements. Small shipments of supplies, covert messages, and even alien engineers began arriving on Earth in secret. They brought plans for advanced energy systems, propulsion enhancements, and tactical simulations. Humans were learning not only from themselves but from alien allies who had grown tired of the Council's bureaucracy and control. Arya smiled as she received a transmission from a masked alien engineer. The message was simple. "Your species has spirit. Use it wisely. The galaxy underestimates you." She turned to Rajiv, her second-in-command. "Do you feel that?" she asked. "The galaxy thinks we're weak. They think we can be ignored. And yet they're already helping us," Rajiv grinned. "It's because they know we're the only ones who can surprise them. Humans always do." The first real test came sooner than expected. Scout ships from the Council began approaching the edges of the solar system. Small, fast, lightly armed, they were meant to observe, but humanity knew observation could easily turn into aggression. Arya ordered the fleet into position. Orbital defenses hummed, energy shields flared, and sensors scanned the void. Humans had no intention of waiting passively. When the scout ships appeared, they found themselves facing a coordinated network they had not anticipated. Stealth drones appeared from unexpected directions. Energy pulses scrambled their communications, and human fighters, small but agile, darted around them like shadows. In less than an hour, the scouts were disabled, captured, or sent fleeing. No human lives were lost. The Council had assumed humans would be easy targets. They had assumed humans would panic. They had assumed wrongly. Back on Earth, celebrations were quiet but heartfelt. Humans were not reckless, they were precise, disciplined, and relentless. News spread through the media and the underground networks. Humanity had proven its capability against the first wave of alien scouts. In the Council chambers, alarms rang. "They are stronger than we imagined," one delegate exclaimed. "Their defenses are evolving faster than our fleets can respond. They are adapting," another, more cautious voice murmured. Underestimating them was a mistake, a grave mistake. The humans themselves were already looking ahead. They were not content with defense alone. Scientists proposed advanced propulsion systems, allowing fleets to travel farther and faster. Pilots trained in deep space navigation, ready to strike or evade as needed. Engineers developed energy-based weapons that could disrupt alien shields. Every setback, every observation only made humans smarter, faster, and stronger. Dr. Vargas summed it up during a briefing. "The Council voted against us, thinking it would limit our growth. They were wrong. Their vote didn't slow us down, it pushed us forward. They have underestimated the human spirit, and that is their greatest weakness." At the edge of human-controlled space, news of Earth's advancements reached alien colonies under Council control. Some began small acts of rebellion, minor sabotage, information leaks, and minor uprisings. Humans did not ask for this support, it came naturally. The human reputation for courage and ingenuity was spreading faster than any fleet could travel. Captain Arya stood on the bridge of the command ship, staring at the stars. "They think we are a single planet. They think we are small, weak, and insignificant. But every day they see proof that they are wrong." Rajiv joined her. "Soon they will realize it too late. They will see humans as a threat, not just a threat, but a force that cannot be ignored." Arya smiled. "Exactly. And when that day comes, we will not just defend Earth, we will change the galaxy. The rising threat of humanity was no longer a secret. Alien intelligence networks reported unusual human activity, rapid technological growth, and unorthodox defensive tactics. Many council delegates were alarmed, some panicked, and a few quietly hoped humanity could be guided rather than destroyed. But humans had no intention of waiting for guidance. They had learned centuries of hardship, adaptation, and survival. They had learned that the universe did not hand victory to the timid. Humans were ready to rise, and nothing, not council votes, not alien fleets, not centuries of doubt, would stop them. The warning signals came late at night. The orbital sensors around Earth picked up a massive formation of ships approaching from the edge of the solar system. The Council had finally decided they would test humanity's defenses in force. Captain Arya Daniels stood on the bridge of the Earth Command Station, her eyes fixed on the incoming fleet. "They're coming," she said simply. "All units prepare for engagement." Lieutenant Chen, monitoring the tactical grid, frowned. "Sir, the fleet is larger than predicted. They're using multiple formations, shielded clusters. They're serious about this strike." Arya did not flinch. Humans had faced threats before, though never from beyond their world. "Let them come," she replied. "We've trained for this. We've planned for this, and they don't know what humans are capable of." The first alien ships entered Earth's orbital defense perimeter. Their weapons glowed ominously, ready to strike, and their advanced shields shimmered with energy the likes of which humans had never encountered in battle. Yet humans had one advantage. They thought differently. Rather than confront the fleet head-on, Earth's orbital defense system activated a network of stealth drones and decoy ships. Small, agile fighters darted among the larger alien vessels, appearing and disappearing at impossible speeds. Energy pulses scrambled alien sensors, causing confusion and delays. From the bridge, Arya watched the alien fleet falter. "It's working," she whispered. "They don't understand our tactics." The first exchange of fire was brutal. Alien laser beams sliced through empty space, striking decoys and orbital structures. Human ships responded with precision, hitting weak points in the alien formations. Small, fast interceptors weaved between massive warships, delivering targeted strikes and then vanishing before retaliation. On the ground, humans watched in awe as the skies around Earth came alive. Broadcasts showed streaks of light, explosions in orbit, and maneuvers that seemed impossible. Scientists had predicted some outcomes, but nothing could fully capture the human ingenuity in action. Meanwhile, the Council's commanders realized something terrifying. Humans were unpredictable. Their movements did not follow conventional strategies. They were improvising, adapting, and exploiting weaknesses that alien intelligence had assumed were impossible to exploit. Ambassador Vethkor, a towering alien with 6 arms, roared in frustration. "How can this be? They are just a planet. They cannot think like this." Another delegate, smaller and quieter, replied, "They are learning faster than we can anticipate. Each maneuver they make changes the rules of engagement. They are dangerous." It was true. Humans had not just built defenses, they had built creativity into their strategy. Deep within the alien fleet, panic began to spread. Officers struggled to communicate as their formations were disrupted repeatedly. Ships collided, shields failed, and morale dropped. Every human pilot, engineer, and AI strategist was coordinated, adapting to new threats with astonishing speed. Captain Arya smiled as she observed the chaos. "They thought they could scare us," she said. "They thought they could overwhelm us with numbers and technology. They are learning the hard way that humans are never so simple." On the battlefield, Lieutenant Chen led a squadron of interceptors against a cluster of alien destroyers. The squadron darted between laser beams, deploying miniature drones to disable shields, and using rapid bursts of fire to take out key systems. Within minutes, the first alien destroyers were crippled. "Report," Arya demanded. "All enemy units in the first cluster are disabled or retreating," Chen replied. "We've lost 2 interceptors. No casualties beyond that," Arya nodded. "Good, keep pushing. Don't let them regroup." As the battle raged, humans demonstrated another advantage: coordinated defense and offense across all levels. Ground-based laser arrays supported orbital ships. AI-controlled satellites projected false signals to mislead enemy targeting. Civilian engineers monitored power grids and repaired minor damage instantly, keeping the human fleet operational. The Council had assumed humans would panic under attack. Instead, humans were thriving under pressure. Every strike, every maneuver, every decision showcased adaptability and courage. Alien commanders tried a new tactic. They unleashed a series of energy storms from their fleet, designed to disable human shields and destroy Earth's orbital stations. Massive beams of plasma surged toward the planet. Arya remained calm. Divert secondary shields. Launch counterpulses. Deploy decoy satellites. Within moments, the alien attack was partially neutralized. The storms missed key stations, striking only decoys and empty space. Humans had not just defended, they had turned the alien weapon against them, feeding the storm's energy back toward the attacking fleet. Several alien ships were damaged in the process. Rajiv, watching beside Arya, could not hide his amazement. They thought this would be easy. They thought humans were weak. They were wrong, he said, shaking his head. On the Council worlds, panic spread. Reports came in of unexpected human victories. Scouts that had intended only to observe were destroyed or captured. Minor fleets that had moved in for reconnaissance were repelled with precision and minimal loss to humans. The Council began to understand a harsh reality. Humans were learning faster than their best intelligence predicted. Veth Kor slammed a clawed hand on the Council table. This species, they are beyond our calculations. We cannot control them. We cannot predict them. They are a threat beyond our estimates. Other delegates whispered in fear. They grow stronger every day. They are evolving. Meanwhile, humans were not done. The orbital defense grid shifted from purely defensive to selective offensive operations. Coordinated strikes disabled alien weapon systems, targeting command ships and key shields. Humanity's approach was not one of brute force but calculated precision. Every move forced the aliens to react, leaving them vulnerable. Dr. Vargas, monitoring the battlefield from Earth, grinned at the data. They're trying to fight our way, but we're already 2 steps ahead. They never expected humans to adapt like this. The first major victory came when humans captured an alien scout vessel. Boarding teams used new zero-gravity combat techniques, moving silently and efficiently through the alien ship. Within hours, the vessel was under human control. Impressive, Arya said as she reviewed the captured ship's systems. They have technology centuries ahead of us. But look at it. Their designs are flawed. We can use their mistakes against them, Rajiv added. And we will. Every flaw they have, every underestimation, is now an advantage. As the alien fleet retreated, Earth celebrated cautiously. The battle was won, but humans knew this was just the first strike. The Council would respond, and likely with greater force. Yet humanity's confidence soared. For the first time, the galaxy saw Earth as more than a minor planet. Humans had proven their ingenuity, courage, and unpredictability. Across the planet, people watched the skies. Broadcasts showed the aftermath. Damaged alien ships retreating into space, human fleets coordinating repairs and defenses, and civilians celebrating quietly but proudly. Humanity had faced the Council's wrath, and survived. Captain Arya looked out at the stars, her mind racing with possibilities. They've learned something today, she said quietly. They've learned that humans cannot be controlled. They've learned that we adapt, we improvise, and we fight with every ounce of our spirit. Rajiv nodded, and they've only just begun to realize it. Tomorrow the Council will send more. They'll try harder. But so will we. We are not just defending Earth. We are showing the galaxy that humans are a force to be reckoned with. The victory marked a turning point. The Council's first strike had failed, and humanity's reputation began to grow beyond the solar system. Across distant star systems, whispers of Earth's ingenuity spread. Some alien colonies started questioning their allegiance to the Council. If humans could survive and repel the first strike, what else could they achieve? On Earth, engineers continued improving ships, scientists expanded AI networks, and pilots trained for the battles yet to come. Humanity's resolve was unshakable. The Council's vote had been meant to suppress them, but it had only made humans stronger. The victory against the Council's first strike had changed everything. Humanity was no longer just a planet under threat. It was a rising force, and the galaxy had begun to take notice. Captain Arya Daniels stood on the bridge of the Earth Command Station, watching the stars stretch endlessly ahead. The Council had underestimated humans once. They would not make that mistake again. Preparations are complete, Arya said. Her voice was calm but resolute. We have the ships, the weapons, the intelligence. Now it's time to take the fight beyond our orbit. Lieutenant Chen nodded. Targeted strikes into Council-controlled systems. Our intelligence reports show weak points and supply lines. We can hit them where they least expect it. Arya smiled. Exactly. And every strike we make will send a message. Humans do not wait to be controlled. We act. The first targets were remote Council-controlled colonies, small worlds that had suffered under the Council's strict rule. Communications had been intercepted from these colonies, revealing unrest and dissatisfaction. Many were willing to join a rebellion if a spark of hope appeared. Humans moved quickly. Using stealth ships, they approached the colonies without warning. The first contact was met with confusion, then amazement. Earth ships, faster and more agile than the Council expected, landed in orbit. On the planets below, humans broadcast messages of hope and solidarity. You are not alone, the messages said. The Council has underestimated you. The galaxy is bigger than their control. Stand with us. Fight with us. Together we are stronger. In the colonies, whispers became action. Citizens began sabotaging Council installations, cutting off supply lines and secretly arming themselves. Small fleets joined the human-led forces, contributing pilots, engineers, and resources. Captain Arya watched the news feeds with pride. They've taken the first steps, she said. And they're learning fast. They see humans not as invaders but as liberators. Rajiv Khatri, standing beside her, added, The Council will regret this vote. They thought Earth could be ignored. Now we are inspiring rebellion across multiple star systems. The Council responded, of course. They sent fleets to retake the colonies and crush the uprising before it spread further. But humans had already adapted. Using captured alien technology, AI analysis, and clever tactics, Earth's fleets outmaneuvered the Council's forces. Instead of frontal assaults, humans used ambushes, decoys, and sabotage. Supply convoys vanished, command ships were stranded, and morale among the Council fleets began to falter. Every engagement showcased human ingenuity and adaptability, reinforcing their growing reputation as a force that could not be predicted or controlled. Meanwhile, scientists on Earth continued their work, reverse engineering alien technology to improve propulsion systems, energy shields, and long-range communication. Every captured Council ship added more intelligence, and every battle honed the human strategies. On the front lines, pilots and soldiers trained together with alien rebels. Humans taught unconventional tactics, while alien allies shared knowledge about Council fleets. It was a merging of styles combining human ingenuity with advanced technology from across the galaxy. Look at them, Arya said, observing a joint training exercise. They're learning faster than the Council ever imagined. Humans do not just fight, they inspire, they lead, they adapt. The first major victory came in the Voron system, a group of mining worlds under Council control. Human stealth ships appeared without warning, disabling orbital defenses with pinpoint strikes. Ground teams coordinated with AI-driven drones to disable weapons and communications. When the dust settled, the colonies were free. Citizens cheered, waving at the ships in orbit. They had fought for themselves, but guided by humans. News of the victory spread rapidly through the galaxy. Even neutral systems began to take notice. Humanity was no longer a minor planet. They were a galactic power in motion. The Council's response was furious. Delegates convened in emergency sessions, arguing and blaming one another. We underestimated Earth, Vethkor bellowed. They have allies among the colonies. They are disrupting our fleets. We cannot stop them. Other delegates whispered about the growing rebellion. Some admitted privately that humans were not just defending, they were changing the balance of power. This was exactly what humans had hoped for. The Council's underestimation had created a ripple effect. Every colony liberated, every fleet disrupted, weakened the Council's control while strengthening humanity's influence. Back on Earth, preparations for the next offensive were already underway. Engineers worked to upgrade ships with captured Council technology. Pilots trained in deep space combat. AI systems calculated countless battle scenarios, anticipating Council moves before they happened. Dr. Elena Vargas looked at the data with excitement. Every system we liberate strengthens us, weakens the Council, and encourages more allies to join. Humans are not just surviving, they are thriving in the face of superior technology. Arya nodded. That's how we win. not by overwhelming them with numbers but by outthinking them, adapting faster, and inspiring others to rise with us. The next target was the Trion Expanse, a key supply region for the Council. Humans deployed a small fleet to intercept and disrupt logistics. Using stealth and superior strategy, the fleet disabled supply ships without destroying them, capturing resources for human use and leaving the Council reeling. Colonies previously hesitant to rebel now joined actively. Fighters, engineers, and support crews arrived, guided by humans. Every action was coordinated with precision, using advanced AI analysis and real-time communication. The Council's fleets, once confident and disciplined, found themselves overwhelmed not by sheer force, but by human unpredictability and unity. In the middle of the campaign, Captain Arya received a message from an unexpected source, a Council delegate secretly sympathetic to humans. "Your species is remarkable. You inspire hope where we expected fear. You are uniting systems faster than any plan could predict. The Council is failing. You must continue. The galaxy is watching." Arya smiled, showing it to Rajiv. "They see what we always knew. Humans are not just survivors. We are leaders. And we will keep moving forward," Rajiv chuckled. "It's satisfying, isn't it? They voted against us, thinking it would slow us down. And now, every strike we make shakes their control." The campaign in Council-controlled space became a symbol of human ingenuity and courage. Every liberated colony sent messages of support back to Earth. Every victory strengthened alliances and morale. Even distant star systems, neutral or undecided, began to reconsider their positions. The Council could no longer ignore humanity. They had underestimated the humans' ability to adapt, innovate, and inspire, and it was costing them more than they imagined. The turning point came in the Kether cluster, a dense region of Council-controlled systems with heavily fortified positions. Humans, using intelligence gathered from previous battles, launched a surprise attack. They disabled major installations using stealth ships, coordinated AI attacks, and ground teams trained in alien combat techniques. The Council's response was swift, but predictable. Humans had already anticipated it. Traps, countermeasures, and ambushes awaited the attackers. By the time Council fleets realized the danger, it was too late. They suffered significant losses, and the colonies began rising in full rebellion. Captain Arya looked at the reports. "They thought they could crush us, but every attack has strengthened us, taught us, and expanded our influence. The galaxy is beginning to see the truth. Humans cannot be controlled." On Earth, celebrations were cautious but determined. Humanity had not only survived the first strike, they had taken the fight into Council space, liberated colonies, and inspired rebellion across star systems. The vote against Earth had created a challenge, and humans had turned that challenge into an opportunity. Rajiv spoke during a briefing. "The Council thought they could suppress us with a vote. They thought they could intimidate us. Instead, they have made themselves our first target, and the galaxy is watching our rise." Arya smiled. "The tide is turning, and soon the Council will realize that their decision to reject us was the greatest mistake they ever made." The human campaign continued, not with reckless aggression but with precision, intelligence, and inspiration. They liberated colonies, disrupted fleets, and captured resources while avoiding unnecessary casualties. Every victory reinforced humanity's reputation for cleverness, courage, and adaptability. Across the galaxy, whispers grew louder. Humans were not a minor species. Humans were a force of nature, a species that adapted, thrived, and fought with unmatched creativity and determination. As Captain Arya looked at the stars, she realized something profound. Humanity had not just survived the Council's vote. They had turned it into the spark that would ignite a galaxy-wide change. The Council had thought they were in control. They had thought humans were weak. But humans were proving that no vote, no fleet, and no power could suppress the spirit, courage, and ingenuity of a united species. Earth was no longer a minor player. Humans were rising. The galaxy had changed. What began as a single vote against Earth had become a galactic awakening. Humans, underestimated and dismissed by the Galactic Council, had grown into a formidable force, liberating colonies, disrupting fleets, and proving that courage and ingenuity could overcome even the most advanced technology. Captain Arya Daniels stood on the bridge of the Earth Command Station, now fully equipped with upgrades from captured council ships. She watched the stars, feeling the weight of history in the making. "This is it," she said softly. "The council will come for us again. But this time, we won't just defend. We'll decide the outcome." Lieutenant Chen, monitoring tactical feeds, nodded. "Our intelligence shows the council is assembling their largest fleet yet. They want to crush us before we take more systems. But they're moving exactly where we expected." Arya smiled. "Then we're ready." The council's fleet approached the Sol system with full force. Massive warships bristling with energy weapons and shields moved in disciplined formations. Hundreds of smaller vessels formed defensive grids while elite strike teams prepared for planetary invasions. They had calculated every possible outcome, or so they thought. Humans, however, did not rely solely on calculations. They relied on creativity, unpredictability, and unity. Every move was planned, but flexibility was built into the plan. Arya gave the order. "Deploy all ships. Activate stealth squadrons. Coordinate AI systems. This is humanity's moment." The first engagement was chaotic. Council warships fired massive energy beams, attempting to pierce Earth's orbital defenses. Stealth fighters darted between the beams, using advanced cloaking systems and precise strikes to disable key weapons. Decoy ships drew fire away from critical stations. Humans had learned from every previous battle. They knew the enemy's tactics, anticipated their responses, and turned their technology against them. Alien officers struggled to adapt. Their formations broke apart as Earth's fleet struck in unexpected patterns. Rajiv, standing beside Arya, could barely hide his excitement. "They still think they can outfight us with brute force," he said. "They don't understand humans," Arya nodded. "They never do." The battle escalated. Human forces pushed beyond Earth's orbit, striking at supply lines, command ships, and strategic installations. Alien fleets previously confident were now on the defensive. Every council strike was met with clever countermeasures, ambushes, and adaptive tactics. On board one of the captured council warships, human engineers worked to enhance energy shields, weapon systems, and propulsion. Every system was tuned for maximum efficiency and unexpected strategies. Humans were not just reacting, they were dictating the battlefield. Meanwhile, liberated colonies joined the fight. Rebel fleets previously hesitant now launched coordinated attacks on council positions. Humans guided these efforts, providing tactical support, intelligence, and leadership. The galaxy watched in amazement. A single species had inspired a coalition capable of challenging the council itself. Colonial citizens cheered as council ships were disabled or captured. Children waved at the fleets. Engineers repaired ships under fire, and soldiers fought with bravery that defied alien expectations. Humans had not only survived, they had created hope and unity across the stars. The council, frustrated and desperate, deployed their ultimate weapon, a massive dreadnought armed with experimental energy cannons capable of destroying entire fleets. They believed this final strike would crush humanity and restore control, but humans were ready. Arya ordered a coordinated assault. Stealth squadrons approached unseen, disabling critical systems on the dreadnought. AI-guided missiles targeted weak points in its hull. Human pilots maneuvered with precision, exploiting every flaw. When the dreadnought finally fell, it was not with a simple explosion, but with a symphony of human strategy, courage, and ingenuity. The council fleet's morale collapsed. They had never faced an opponent like this, clever, relentless, and united. In the council chambers, panic spread. Delegates shouted over one another. Vethkor slammed a clawed hand on the council table. "They are not a planet. They are not weak. They are unstoppable." Other delegates whispered of revolt, rebellion, and the shifting allegiances of colonies. The council's power, once absolute, now hung by a thread. Their vote against Earth, meant to suppress a minor species, had unleashed a force beyond their control. Humanity seized the momentum. Fleet after fleet advanced into council-controlled space, liberating key worlds. Ground teams disabled command centers, and communication networks broadcast messages of unity and freedom. Colonies once oppressed now joined the human-led coalition, providing fighters, engineers, and resources. Every victory was calculated, every move precise. But humanity's true strength was not technology alone. It was spirit. Humans fought for more than strategy or survival. They fought for hope, independence, and the freedom of all intelligent species. The final confrontation occurred in the Hallian Expanse, the Council's central command region. Council forces had gathered in strength, determined to annihilate humanity. Massive warships filled the void, shielded by energy fields and armed with the most advanced weapons the galaxy had ever seen. Captain Arya and her fleet approached with calm determination. Every ship, every pilot, every AI system was ready. Humans had learned from every battle, adapted to every strategy, and now controlled the pace of the engagement. "Engage," Arya commanded. The battle was monumental. Council fleets fired massive energy beams, launching squadrons of attack drones and elite boarding teams. Humans responded with coordinated strikes, ambushes, and AI-guided tactics that anticipated every Council move. Stealth ships disabled key shields, while orbital bombardments neutralized command installations. Rebel colonies attacked from unexpected angles, further disrupting Council coordination. Every engagement demonstrated human ingenuity, courage, and unity. Even the most advanced Council officers struggled to adapt. They had faced strong species before, but none like humans. Humans thought differently, acted boldly, and never gave up. As the battle reached its peak, Arya led a strike team against the Council's central command ship. Boarding teams moved with precision, disabling weapons and communication arrays. Engineers repurposed Council systems, turning their own technology against them. Inside the command ship, Arya faced the Council representatives virtually. "Your vote against Earth was your final mistake," she said firmly. "You underestimated humanity, and now the galaxy will see the truth. We are not just survivors, we are leaders, innovators, and protectors of freedom." The Council attempted to retaliate, but human forces had already taken control of the battle. Systems were disabled, fleets trapped, and morale shattered. The Council had lost. With the Council defeated, humans did not destroy, they liberated. Colonies were freed, systems were stabilized, and communications networks broadcast messages of unity and hope. Humans had proven that power could be wielded with strategy, courage, and ethics. Captain Arya addressed the liberated colonies and fleets. "Today we have shown the galaxy that humanity cannot be controlled, cannot be predicted, and cannot be defeated. We fight not for conquest but for freedom. Together we can shape a galaxy that values courage, innovation, and unity." The Council, humbled and defeated, was forced to acknowledge humanity's power. They had underestimated a single species, only to be undone by creativity, courage, and adaptability. Galactic laws were rewritten, colonies were liberated, and humans were recognized as a major galactic power. The vote against Earth meant to suppress had instead sparked a revolution. Humanity had not only survived, they had triumphed. On Earth, celebrations were immense but dignified. Scientists, engineers, soldiers, and civilians all shared in the victory. Humanity had proven that intelligence, ingenuity, and unity could overcome even the most advanced forces in the galaxy. Captain Arya stood on the bridge of the command station one last time, looking at the stars. "They thought they could vote against us," she said softly. "They thought they could stop us. But humans never give up. Humans never surrender, and now, the galaxy knows it." Rajiv smiled beside her. "They will never underestimate us again." The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humans are relentless, inventive, and brave. They adapt, they fight, and they rise stronger from every challenge. The Council's vote had been their final mistake, and humanity's triumph had reshaped the stars themselves. From that day forward, Earth was no longer just a small, insignificant planet. It was a beacon of hope, a symbol of courage, and a force to be reckoned with across the galaxy. Humans had not only survived, they had changed the course of history, and the galaxy would never forget it.